Are we recording? Chris Jacobs here, and this is a request for everyone, but especially those of you who are good researchers. We're working on a collaboration called History Repeats Itself. It's a comedic take on how similar events throughout history tend to happen time and time again. In our episode regarding patterns, we focused on false predictions for the end of the world.
Do you know how often people predict the end of the world? It's been happening on an almost fortnightly basis for centuries.
So we're starting 2 new collaborations to make potential History Repeats Itself shorts for 2 of our episodes, regarding the number 2 and regarding guns. For the number 2, Spaceship contributed the idea to focus on historical figures who have died on the toilet. He provided 3 examples. They are a Japanese warlord from the 16th century, Catherine the Great of Russia, and of course, the king, Elvis Presley. Are there any other notable figures that you can find that may have died on the toilet? What were the circumstances surrounding their deaths? Why did they die? Who were they? And while we're at it, what are some other details that you can provide to the 3 examples that Spaceship gave? Do you know anything else about Catherine the Great, or Elvis for that matter? Tell us about it. For our episode regarding guns, we were inspired by a contribution from Iblis. She contributed a record all about the presidential assassinations that Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, was a first-hand witness to. It made us wonder, as tragic as any assassination of a public figure is, how many failed assassination attempts have there been throughout history? What are some examples of attempted assassinations in the past? What was the motive of the assassin, and what were the circumstances leading to their failed attempt? Who was the target? And when did it happen? How was it botched? And was the attempted assassin ever caught and brought to justice? So with these failed assassination attempts, try to find stories that are surprising and that we may have never heard before. We're starting a new collaboration for both of these angles, so if you know any notable figures who have died on the toilet, you can contribute it to our collaboration History Repeats Itself, Died on the Toilet. And if you want to contribute examples of failed assassinations throughout history, you can contribute them to our collaboration History Repeats Itself, Botched Assassinations. Provide as many details as you can for each new example and cite any resources you end up using. We'll be taking these examples and putting out a request later for writers to turn these into potential scripts for History Repeats Itself. So the more we have to choose from, the better. All right, thanks again.